Hi there, this is Dada Groover in beautiful Newport, Oregon, and we have a chorus of sea lions behind us, and I don't know if they are arguing. I don't know if they're talking about their day. I don't know if they're talking about the sea lion that got away they wanted to mate with. I don't know, but they're making a lot of noise, and it's awesome. I love that sound. I love being here. I love being inspired. Different places really kind of inspire me to write, and I have engineering business that brings me here anyway to Oregon, so they pay for my trip, my accommodations, and I just love to write while I'm here. And I love these sea lions in the background. They could be singing for all I know. I don't speak sea lion very well. Today I'm going to do a first page critique of a very brave volunteer, and we're gonna see how that goes. I'm sure I'm gonna learn something just by doing it. Every time I do an edit or a critique or something, I learn something, and I hope you will too. So we're a little quieter here inside. I can still hear the sea lions, but maybe you can't, because I got the sliding door closed now. But I am going to critique somebody's work here, and I want to say something before we start with that, and that is critiquing editing. It is a very, very subjective thing. It really is. Just like, what people appreciate about writing or they don't appreciate about somebody's writing. Just look at reviews on Amazon. You'll see a wide range of almost anybody's work, professional reviews included. Look at movie reviews. You have some movie reviews that people think it's the best thing. I'm talking about professional reviewers. They think it's the best thing that's ever come out, and other people think it's awful. And what I think is kind of a failure, this is just my opinion, for movies or books, is when it's all kind of mediocre. It's like, yeah, this was pretty good. And Rotten Tomatoes, right? A lot of people use Rotten Tomatoes, and they look at reviews and they'll say, wow, look, this is 90% positive reviews. But those 90% positive reviews, they're positive, but they're not like incredible. I would much rather see a movie that a lot of reviewers, professional and non-professional, think is incredible and awful, rather than something that's mediocre. I have no time for mediocrity. Sorry, I just don't want to put my time there. Same thing with reading, same thing with writing. I do not want to write anything that's mediocre. So, as many of you know already, I at one time worked for a small publishing house as a staff editor, and I have edited some very big selling authors. If I can be honest with you, I did it for the money. I did it because I really needed to buy groceries, and I had a book under contract, and I was waiting for my first royalty payments from that. The publisher I was under contract with said they needed some extra editing help, and I took the job because I needed it, and I had no idea how much I was going to enjoy it, because I became part of the creative process. And part of being in a creative process, it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area. What makes a certain song a great song? Some things are definable and some things are not definable. I had a very brave volunteer who invited me to critique their work here on video for you. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, either way, please put a comment below and say, oh, I don't disagree, I don't agree with that edit you made or that call. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about some of this. I have not done this yet. I have not edited it ahead of time. I'm going to edit it as we go along, and then I'm going to show you the actual edits I made. I'm doing it in purple pen so it'll really stand out, and I'm going to explain that in a voiceover as we go along. So the first thing, just looking at this, I'm going to read some of this. I should be dead, not once but twice. And yet here I am, and I don't know why. I'm in a body that I don't claim to be mine. It is younger and curvier and so different in every way. Every way but one, that is, the eyes. The eyes are mine. When I look in the mirror, they are all I see that I recognize as me. Intriguing. It's a really intriguing premise. And the first thing I want to say about this is I see where there could be fewer words. There could be fewer words for this, and fewer words is usually going to mean more effective. And again, I'm going to show you now a picture of the edits that I did here and how I made this these suggested changes, because when I edit, I'm not saying this is right and this is wrong. Yes, some things, they're clearly errors. I generally don't do that kind of editing. I look for what's effective and what works. And again, it's a subjective thing. How the words fit together is important, and that's why I did it in this particular way. I am going to move on to the next part, but I want you to make a comment below. Again, if you agree, if you disagree, and I will post excerpts in the description of both versions, version 1, version 2, so you can also read it there and tell me what you think, because I would love to know what you think. And by the way, if you would like to have your work, your first page critiqued, let me know. Please post a note in the comment below, and I will do it anonymously, by the way, unless you would like your name to be used, and I'm fine with doing that as well. So I've got the rest of the page edited, and again, these are just suggestions, my editorial suggestions, and as you can see, I've made a lot of cutting out words. I've added a few things. I'm going to be extra tough on the first page, always, because if people don't get completely drawn in with that first page, they will not read your book. Even if they've bought the book, they won't necessarily read it. They'll put it aside for another time, and the first page is crucial. The first paragraph, the first sentence are all extremely important, more so than any other part of the book. The ending is also very important, how you leave them feeling and so on, but that beginning has to totally grab them, and that is, in my opinion, the most important part of the book. So there are things that I have taken out that could be put later, like there was some explanation about her best friend Joni that could possibly be added later. I would have to look at the whole work to see, yes, that would fit there and so on, but it does not belong on the first page in my opinion. And there's other things, like for example, part of her conversation with Joni on the phone when she calls to tell her she's moving to Colorado, that does not need to be there. Now, one of the things she does, and many things, like I feel this is an engaging story, it's a great premise. One of the things she does really well is she puts some intrigue there. Like when Joni says, oh, who's the guy? She says, well, there is no guy, but little did she know there was going to be one, or there was a guy. I just hadn't met him yet. Tell me what you think. Put some comments below. Let me know what you think about these edits. Well, here's how I would have done it. This is what I don't agree with. I'm fine with people disagreeing with me, just so you know. So that's it. The first page has to really flow. It has to really get people involved. Once they're involved, it's easier to hold their attention, to keep that involvement, but you got to start off on the right foot. I am here with the Inspired Writer to support your writing journey. I feel we're in this together and you're part of this journey. So that's it. And do feel free to check out some of my other videos. I hope you like them. I put a lot of energy into making them something that you will gain something from. That is my hope. That's my aspiration. Thank you very much for watching this and for being here with me. This is That a Groover with the Inspired Writer.